Okay.
Noiramore Academy, one of Drakenspire's most prestigious schools with over 500 years of storied history. The current headmaster, Julius Claiborne, is a former general who runs our school with military precision and discipline. Our wonderful planet of Noives is home to a great many talents in resonetic abilities, and Noiramore's teachers are uniquely qualified in instructing such essential subjects. But while we specialise in resonetic talents, our other subjects are not taught any less thoroughly, and every student is encouraged to explore their unique talents in our extracurricular programs. Noiramore Academy guides our students to commit to their studies, keep sound minds, maintain their manners, and most importantly, behave in a manner befitting the reputation of our beloved institution.
Extortion, Miss Hovern. Is that really what you're up to now?
I wouldn't call it extortion, sir. I simply told the cafeteria cook that I would keep the existence of his pet vermin on the down low if he provided me with an extra brownie or two at lunchtime. It was mutual exchange that neither of us had issues with.
Yes, Judith, that's extortion. Of course he had issues with it. Thank goodness I caught you in the act.
Well, why am I the one sitting here in this office when it's the cook who is keeping vermin pets?
I've already talked with Mr. Seabrook, Judith. It's dealt with. And more importantly, none of your business. What concerns me is you. Sneaking around at night, lying to teachers, extorting staff. This is a decidedly concerning trend. Don't you want to be a good example for your sister?
Indeed. It must be hard enough for her to be younger than her classmates.
For the next month, you are not permitted to attend film club. Do you understand, Miss Hovern?
But sir, I won't be able to see any movies outside of that club.
Hence why it's a punishment. Miss Nunatak will check that you aren't seen there.
I'll make sure of it.
Judith, head back to class, please.
Good old Seabrook didn't rat me out, it seems. Brownies weren't the only things I asked him for. Apparently, one of his old classmates from back in the day was really into puzzles. He set up some kind of secret puzzle in the history classroom years ago, and Seabrook never figured it out. Let's see if I can.
During the Onyx War, various battles were fought in the Inked Wastes. Some were relegated to land, others underground in the caverns, and many on the Inked Sea. Our fiefdom, Drakenspire, went head-to-head against the fiefdom of Northburg in a horrid conflict spanning 4 years. It irrevocably changed our fiefdom forever. Miss Cabrera, no drawing in class. Can anyone here tell me why the Onyx War was instigated? Miss Landerhoof?
Yes, ma'am. The Onyx War was started due to Northburg spies sabotaging our resonetic ring production process. Northburg took advantage of this to sell their own rings in order to gain the kingdom's favor.
A good summation, Miss Landerhoof. Can anyone else tell me why it was the Inked Wastes that were chosen as the fateful battleground?
The Inked Wastes is between the two fiefdoms. Plus, it was where we mined our ore for the rings.
Excellent, Mr. Strumps. Now, what is it about the Inked Wastes that make it a particularly terrible place to fight a war? Miss Acre?
Oh, yes, Miss Grimsby. Well, the Inked Waste is a nasty, nasty place, full of hard creatures that will gobble you up and suck out all of your blood. Oh, and of course you can't forget to mention the surge, which will suck you down into his deep depths and fill your lungs with tar, his tendrils digging deep into your brain until...
That's quite enough, Miss Aker. Oh, quite enough. Our unit this semester will be all about the Onyx War. Since it is the most recent major conflict in Drakenspire's history, we will be studying it in depth. And speaking of which, you may have heard tell that a new science teacher will be joining us this year to replace Mr. Mason. His name is Mr. Bagshaw, and he actually worked in the Research and Development Division of the Drakenspire Army. I'm sure he will have plenty to share with you that can enhance your education. Anyway, I am now giving you the rest of the period to work on the papers I assigned to you yesterday about the instigation of the war. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Dismissed.
The note Seabrook gave me says history classroom. Page number equals number of cave hounds times number of windows plus number of desks.
So okay. Number of cave hounds times number of windows times number of student plus number of student desks. Okay.
Guess I'll give the textbook shelf a look.
Okay. Yep, that's what I expect in terms of... Okay.
A picture of the biggest island in the Inked Sea. It's where the Onyx tribe lives. Miss Nunatak comes from there, I think. These were all recently published. Seabrook's friend went to school before the war, so I doubt any of these would work. I should ask the book sprites for help.
Okay, I'm guessing you're a book sprite?
Before I ask them, I should figure out what page number I'm looking for. That doesn't sound right.
Okay, so... Okay, 1, 2... Okay, so there's... So windows, 1... Oh, there's windows up there too. Okay. This is gonna... Okay. So it was... I just want to be able to, okay, number of cave hounds times the number of windows plus number of students. Okay. Oh, student desks. Okay. So let me pull out my thing here. So, number of cave hounds. Okay. Alright, so we need to count.
A statue of a cave hound. They don't have eyes, since they live in deep caves, and hunt using echolocation. Additionally, they are very good boys.
Alright, so there's 1, 2. So that's 2. Alright, so that's 2 cave hounds. Okay, so how many windows do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so 13 windows. Okay, plus student desks. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so there's 6 rows of 1. So 6 rows of 5. 5 sixes are 30. So 2 times 13 plus 30. So 2 times 13 is 26 plus 30 or 56.
Before I ask them, I should figure out what page number I'm looking for. That doesn't sound right.
How is that not right? Eight, 9, 10. Unless I counted student debts wrong. One, 2, 3. Unless it's not counting the hound there. So 13 plus 30. Let's try 43.
Before I ask them, I should figure out what page number I'm looking for.
Let's try 43.
doesn't sound right.
Is there perhaps another cave hound that I'm missing? Because there's definitely one... Yeah, there's definitely 30 of those.
A diorama of a typical crystal farm from 500 years ago. It's considered good, honest work. But if being honest means no money and a lack of indoor plumbing, I think I'll keep my tongue white with at least a few lies. An old plate depicting Queen Clarentia. I don't know why any royal would want food smeared all over an image of their face, though. Oh, come on, Judith. They're obviously decorative. Think. That's Marisol Aker. She's a member of the Historical Reenactment Club. She insists that she's a secret heir to the throne, descended from a long-lost royal ancestor. She's also really into true crime and horror stories. Once, she was taken to the counselor for the amount of books she checked out on concerning subjects. Sol's never hurt anybody, though. She's a good kid.
Yeah, I've ran it. Okay. My math's right though. But this...
The flag of our fiefdom of Drakkenspire. I don't have a terribly great fondness for this place, but at least our flag has a draken on it. Good old number 2. Lydia Cabrera. Artist and big-time sports fan. She mostly likes paint, but I've seen her make art pieces out of anything she can get her hands on. Both she and I don't get along with the teachers too well, but she has the advantage of being an artist. After all, it's hard to stay too mad at the girl who will draw the school holiday card designs for free. I've known her since last year. These are crystals, whose vibrations prevent anyone in the classroom from using telepathy. To prevent cheating, I gather. I heard that one time, an upperclassman secretly switched them out for fakes before a big test. Nicholas Strumps and Becky Landerhoof. They and I aren't on the best of terms. Becky leads the school's historical reenactment club. She's a real stickler for accuracy, to an obnoxious degree. Nicholas is her boyfriend. He's a nerd about naval history and sea battles and the like. Becky hasn't talked to me in a while, probably because of what I did at the reenactment. But I only did it because she needed to be taken down a peg. She should have thought of it as a favor, really. Mrs. Grinsby, our history teacher, bit of an odd duck, that one. She says that about 15 years ago, she was attacked and her horn was snapped off. Now she uses a wand to channel her waves, but wands aren't the most reliable. She's a nervous wreck of a person. Almost makes me feel sorry for her.
Oh, Miss Hovan, is your paper done? You're scampering about as if it were.
Yes, miss. I put it on your desk yesterday.
Oh, yes, of course. Carry on. Unless you have any questions about future assignments.
So, I guess we're in the Onyx War unit now, huh? How long will we be studying it?
Till the end of the semester. It's an incredibly important part of our recent history that affected many aspects of our current
Stevie,
day
you're making my
lives and
desk rattle.
politics. You have a good head for these topics. Include any battlefield photos in. You know, I haven't the stomach for it.
Aha. Of course, miss.
Go!
I may not be able to get away with it anymore, but other students will be doing that now. She pays less attention to the actual quality of the presentation, since she's too distracted by her disgust. And after all, she can't very well dock points for accurate visual reporting, or historical fact. By the way, miss, I thought I saw you carrying a big net near the stables yesterday. What was that about?
That couldn't have been me, Judith. Why would I have a net?
Get out!
That's what I was wondering. Hence why I asked you.
Oh, no. Wasn't me.
I just realised she's got a hole, so her horn's been,
Is that romance book on your desk part of the curriculum?
No. Just a little something to read during lunch. Completely school appropriate, I assure you. Teachers need a bit of downtime entertainment too, child. No need to be nosy.
Ah, but curiosity is my speciality, miss. Is that not the foundation of learning?
No need to be disingenuous, which, coincidentally, is also a speciality of yours. You and I both know you're smart enough to tell the difference between nosy and curious.
You flatter me, miss.
I don't know what,
Judith, hey, have you finished the paper yet?
Naturally.
Ha! Well, I'm just a tad worried about getting it done on time. Especially because I'm just not getting it. Mrs. Grimsby's teaching style is, well...
Atrocious.
I was going to choose a kinder word, like peculiar?
That's the meanest thing I've ever heard coming out of your mouth.
Well, it's hard for her to teach about a war when she gets queasy over just mentioning death or blood. She's definitely skipping out on some important stuff. Can you summarise the cause of the war a bit more clearly for me?
All right. Don't tell me I never did anything for you. The fiefdoms of Northburg and Drakkenspire have been at odds for hundreds of years, ever since they were first established by brothers with bad blood between them. Our fiefdom of Drakkenspire was known for the production of excellent resonetic augmentation rings. This was due to the high-quality ore mined from our territory in the Inked Wastes. These rings rose our standing with the king, drawing the jealousy of Northburg. 25 years ago, however, many rings were found to be dangerously faulty, to the point that some who used them lost their resonetic talents altogether. A misinformation campaign was launched that said it was due to Baron Leoric of Drakkenspire pursuing cheaper mining in areas with ore tainted by the Surge. Royal investigations were launched. In the meantime, Baron Neirath of Northburg offered to sell his own rings and provide medical assistance to the affected fiefdoms. The king began to favour Neirath and granted him the rights to mine in the Inked Wastes. Soon, however, the king's spies revealed the truth. A double agent, supposedly working for Drakkenspire, had manipulated documents to direct miners to the tainted areas, making it look like Baron Leoric had ordered it. Once the truth was revealed, tensions between the fiefdoms skyrocketed. Leoric, furious, mobilized his troops and marched upon the Inked Wastes, intent on taking his mines back. Neirath sent out troops in response, declaring that he still had legal rights to the land. A battle began. The initial conflict was very bloody, very quickly, since Drakkenspire's citizenry were incensed at Neirath's actions. The fervour of combat led to some of the Northburg miners to be killed in the fray. Since they were civilians, Northburg's soldiers fought back with a similar anger. Meanwhile, the king was mad with Leoric for engaging Neirath, since the investigation was not closed, and he'd bypassed royal authority by sending out troops. As such, the king did not take sides, leading the fiefdoms to engage in combat exclusively with the other, as other fiefdoms were not permitted to become involved. The war lasted for 4 years and was fought almost entirely in the Inked Wastes. The area was already known for its strange, twisted evils, horrid beasts and the infection of the Surge on the land, brutal bloodshed, and new types of resonetic weaponry only twisted the place further. One can only be glad we were born after it was all over, eh?
Huh. I think I'm getting it a bit more now. Thanks, Judith.
No problem.
You mentioned resonetic weapons affecting the land. Did those help or hurt the Surge? Oh, and what happened to Lord Neirath after the war?
This whole unit is going to be about the war. You'll learn that stuff soon enough. And if you don't get it, I'll drill it into your skull, knucklehead.
Ha ha. Thanks.
What are you doing?
Sketching the window. I've always liked it. I want to build stained glass windows in my church one day.
Your church? Don't you mean your dad's church?
I used to want to take over for my dad, but now I've been thinking of building a church of my own, once I go through seminary college.
Already got your life planned out for yourself, huh? You're only 13, Deacon. Lighten up a little.
Don't you have any dreams for yourself when you're older? You're not going to be exploring the school and frustrating the teachers forever.
I mean, technically, I could keep doing both of those things if I became a teacher myself.
You? Dreaming to be a teacher? Doubtful.
You got me. Though, I'd say my current hobbies would lead to a mean career in detective work, no?
That sounds more like you. Detective Hutham has a nice ring to it.
I can already imagine it. Printed on the frosted glass door of my one-room office in the city that never sleeps.
Okay. Yeah, I still only see 2. But I've done the maths.
Before I ask them, I should figure out what page number I'm looking for.
Alright, so assuming that I'm missing another cave thing. So it'd be 3 times 13 plus 30 is 69. So I'm going to try 69.
That doesn't sound right.
Okay, now let's try with 4 maybe. 4 times 13 plus 30. 82.
Before I ask them, I should figure out what page number I'm looking for. Bingo.
Okay,
Hello, little
there
guy.
were 2
I
dog
need to
things
find
I was
a
missing.
pre-war history textbook. Maybe from around the 2190s? Thanks. Without further ado... Huh. Interesting. A battle that took place way before the Onyx War, but it still involved Drakenspire and Northburg.
Okay, so this... Okay. I want to look at this history book.
This has got to be related to the textbook, but this scene shows a different battle. Though, looking closer at the paint, it seems like this table has been used for years and was painted over whenever a new scene was needed. Platoon... company? Ugh. I don't know how many soldiers those are. Maybe I'll have to ask someone for help.
Okay, so... Alright.
Lady Judith! Greetings!
Hello, Sol.
Might I ask if the film club will have the honor of your presence today? We are watching Murder in the Depths, a delightful horror reel that combines Spellmorian and Noivesan directing technique. Additionally, I heard tell that real skeletons were used to depict the bodies of the murder victims. Oh, please refrain from informing any school staff of this fact. I do not wish to get into detention again for my interests.
I'm sorry, I just got into trouble with the headmaster. Can't join in film club for a while.
Oh, really? I'm simply crestfallen to hear such a thing. I do hope you may join us soon. A new batch of my skull-shaped cookies will be awaiting your arrival.
Deathly delicious, as you always say.
Indeed, I do.
Okay. Historical Reenactment Club?
What's going on with the reenactment club? Becky still won't talk to me.
Oh, are you planning on rejoining? Because, to be entirely honest, Lady Judith, I do not believe you will be allowed.
I'm just curious about what you're all up to.
I see. Well, our next grand reenactment is happening in a few days' time. It will be one of our biggest yet, covering the land and sea battle of Westlane on the 25th anniversary of the Onyx War's beginning.
Oh yeah, Brinsby mentioned that. And I think she said that non-club students are encouraged to join, since it's so big and educational or something. I know I can't become a club member, but I could probably help out a bit in this one, right?
Lady Judith, you know that I cannot approve you or not. You would have to talk with Becky. Have you apologized to her yet?
No. Why should I have to? She was the one who started everything.
Are you sure her slights against you were reality rather than simply perceived?
I know what I saw. I can read people.
Not all books are of the same language. Other languages exist, and one person cannot know all of them. As a person who holds precious friendships with the both of you, this continued feud hurts my heart. Pray, consider taking the first step to end it.
Stevie!
What are you reading there?
An autopsy report, that's all.
Autopsy? Of who?
Baroness Belladonna Lattimore, a death from 30 years ago that many would consider suspicious. I am continuing my studies of famous deaths in order to increase my likelihood of becoming a forensic pathologist someday. That is my backup career plan, if my status as a true princess is never officially acknowledged anyway.
So you're trying to solve a cold case. Have you gotten any leads?
Some things I find unusual, yes, but nothing that hasn't been already noted by famous doctors. Besides, my specialty is in cadaver forensics. I'll need a detective's mind to piece together the entire mystery. Perhaps you might assist me in that sometime soon, Judith, since you're so good at mysteries and all.
That does sound like a good bit of fun. We'll keep that in mind.
Okay. So,
Becky, Nicholas.
What do you want?
Nothing. Can't a friend just greet a friend without coming across as needy?
Huh, friend. Right. Leave us alone.
Nicholas, I need to ask you something about the military.
Huh. Becky, did you hear something? You know, I am feeling pretty darn hungry today. Maybe, just maybe, if I had an extra lunch token, my ears would clear up.
okay, so where would I get an extra lunch token?
Gina Wendigan, resident drama kid. She was cast as a fluffbat in an upcoming school play and has been method acting for a month now. Her obsession got even worse when she read through the Warrior Bats books. She thinks they're actually accurate to fluffbat behavior, And now she's declared I'm part of her bat clan. Her antics can be weird, but she's a good friend. I've known her for a long time.
Nightclaw Judith, I need your help.
With what?
Well, my wings are that of a warrior. They are strong and my claws are sharp. All good traits of a warrior bat. However, well, sometimes I can wield them a little clumsily. And, I ripped a small hole when I was swooping past this dress.
Oh, Gina, this dress is 500 years old.
I know. If Grimsby sees, I might get kicked out of the school. But I've built my roost here. I can't get kicked out. As a fellow member of the Nightclaw clan, I am formally asking for your assistance, Judith.
It looks like the dress uses a particular stitch here. I don't know how to copy it well enough to pass Grimsby's inspection.
Squeak, squeak, squeak! Oh, I'm sorry. That was a curse word in bat language. I need to watch my tongue.
I'll try to find someone who could help. This sounds like something Becky would know.
Thanks, Nightclaw Judith. You are a valuable member of the clan.
Okay.
Judith?
Any plans for the treehouse?
Yeah, I've got a few sketches I'm working on. I don't know how I'm going to get enough wood or nails to finish my plans though.
We could take apart the door on Glitter's stable. Or we could dig up her grave and use the coffin. She's an animal made out of stone. She doesn't really need a coffin anyway.
Judith.
All right. If I come across any, I'll make sure not to tell you where I sourced it from.
Okay. I'll have a look around. We need an extra lunch token.
A model of one of the submarines used in the war. They were gradually phased out after the monsters in the Inked Sea were mutated by psi bombs and destroyed subs on sight.
Okay.
Leave us alone.
Nicholas, I need to talk to Becky.
Why should she help you with anything?
I don't need help. This is Virginia, not me. She accidentally tore a hole in the dress over there, and I'm gonna stitch it for her, but I don't know how to do those fancy old ones. Again, this isn't me, it's Virginia. You know she's too shy to ask people outside her clan.
Yeah, that's true. Becky?
For Gina, here. I studied that dress a while ago. What seam was torn?
Looked like the part with the lace at the bottom.
Easy enough fix as long as the lace wasn't too frayed. Use the stitch in this book on page 27. Give Gina my regards.
Okay. So, inventory, okay.
Gina, look what I've got.
Nightclaw Judith, what is it?
I've got a guide on how to make that stitch to repair the dress, and a needle and thread.
By the great bat's wings! Thank you. Can you help me repair it? I'm afraid my claws would only tear it more.
Sure. Watch this.
Okay, so use your mouse to make the needle follow. Okay. Alright, so Okay, that looks right. Alright, so it would be then that one to...
There you go, all repaired. Grimsby shouldn't know the difference.
Thank you once again for your help, Knight Claude Judith. May the great Bat, leader of our clan, bless you this day, and may your catch of rodents always be juicy. Here, take a lunch coin.
Thanks, Gina.
Thank you. I got my lunch coin. Okay, so I can give the lunch coin to...
Leave us alone.
Nicholas, I need to ask you something about the military.
Huh. Becky, did you hear something? You know, I am feeling pretty darn hungry today. Maybe, just
I
maybe,
should have equipped
if I
it.
had an extra lunch token, my ears would clear up.
Here's a lunch token. Now spill your guts, war geek.
Bribing me, I see. Fine. What's your question?
I need to know how many soldiers are in a patrol, a platoon, and a company.
Basic question. Hardly worth a lunch token. But I'll take it anyway. In Drakenspire, the average is 20 men per patrol, 40 men per platoon, and 140 per company.
Guess the reenactment club can teach useful things sometimes.
Rich. Real rich. Buzz off.
Okay, so patrol 20 men, platoon 40 men, company 140 men. Okay. Okay. So there were two Northburian patrols to the far west. So these are the patrol. And then one patrol to the okay. To the east of the northern. Okay. Alright, so this was set up on the River Peninsula. So I don't know what constitutes the River Peninsula. Okay, I think this is the peninsula. So company resided there. So that's 140 men. So we need 7 of these guys on here, I think. Go to the beach just to the northeast. Okay, so you guys are the platoon. It's company in the far northeast. But not in the river. Platoon and a base on top of the mountain. So that's and at the western base of the mountain. So 3 platoons. So that's Oi!
There we go. What do we have here?
The creation of Noiramore Academy starred as Twinkle in Catherine Noiramore's eyes. Okay?
investigate. But Grimsby will object if she sees me. Maybe I can get someone to distract her.
Okay.
Judith?
Maybe you could?
What are you reading there?
An autopsy report.
Over
Autopsy? Of who?
Baroness Belladonna Lattimore, a death from 30 years ago that many would consider suspicious. I am continuing my studies of famous deaths in order to increase my likelihood of becoming a forensic pathologist someday. That is my backup career plan.
You mentioned getting...
Have I not told you of that incident? Ah, yes, this was from before we knew one another, I believe. In the library's radio room, I and several other students had met up to share our favorite radio shows. I turned the channel to my personal pick. As it went on, a few of the students seemed to become quite frightened. The librarian came in to check on us, and when he heard what we were listening to, well, he immediately took me to the headmaster's office. Unfortunately, I was banned from turning the channel ever again.
What exactly did you have them listen to?
A series detailing the stories of serial killers. A tad graphic, I must admit, but also rife with educational content.
Alright. I need someone who could distract.
Leave us alone. Leave us alone.
Nightclaw Judith, how might I assist?
Yeah, can you help me distract her?
Gina, can you do something for me? I need you to talk with Grimsby for a bit. Distract her, so I can do something.
Of course, Nightclaw Judith. A clan always helps their own. I'll do it right now.
Okay, so hold down the E. Okay. Okay. Oh, come on.
Lady Noiramore, the woman who founded the school. Her family remained the headmasters for 500 years until the Onyx War. There's a hole where her pupil is. Cracked it. What's this?
Okay. The gems belong to the leader of the pack. His collar must match the procession of the hunt.
So I need to put these gems somewhere.
Okay, so... Ah! Yeah, the gems belong to the leader of the pack. His collar must match the procession of the hunt. Okay. The procession of the hunt. Okay, so red, green, purple, blue, green, red. I'm going to make a note of that. So red, green, purple, blue, green, red. Because that looks like, okay.
A statue of a cave hound. They don't have eyes. A statue of a cave. Additionally, they are very good.
Okay. So, red. Okay, so the blue one goes here. Green. I don't know how I got it in there, but okay, I might restart because it'll be easier to do it from okay, red, green, purple, blue, green, fuck off. There we go.
Just like the tapestry.
Okay. Hey Jake, I'm glad you finally were able to solve one of my puzzles. I put a lot of effort into this one. I made that collar myself and managed to slip it on the statue just before our new history teacher arrived. Anyway, I think this is the last puzzle I'll get to make before graduation. It's been a fine few years since growing up in this school. I'm real glad I got to spend them with you, my best bud. Since you won't be getting out of this joint until next year, I hope you use that time to finally solve some of my other puzzles too. Anyway, here's what I found. It's some kind of blueprint of a door that leads to a secret passage. I haven't figured out how to open the door just yet. I was too busy finishing this puzzle before graduation. But it's probably got to do with the glass pattern on it. I look forward to hearing all about what is behind it when I see you.
Seabrook will probably want to see this. A bit pathetic he wasn't able to solve this puzzle, really. High King above. Now this is interesting.
Okay, so that's the...
Considering how old this parchment looks, there could be something incredible behind this door. I've got to find it as soon as I can.
Calling all students to the entry hall, all students to the entry hall. A new teacher is arriving to the school. Please line up in formation flanking the entry doors, and let us give him a warm Noiramore welcome.
Ah, and here he is. Come now, children, follow me. 2 straight lines.
Noiramore Academy guides our students to commit to their studies and, most importantly, behave in a manner befitting the reputation of our beloved institution.
Sneaking around at night, lying to teachers, extorting staff? Is that really what you're up to now?
He set up some kind of secret puzzle in the history classroom years ago, and Seabrook never figured it out. Let's see if I can.
I'm a visual artist. Words bore me.
Squeak, squeak, squeak! That was a curse word in battle language.
Mrs. Grimsby's teaching style is...
Atrocious.
What do you want?
Lady Judith! Greetings!
They say she was going insane before her death, that she thought the Onyx War would be the end of the world.
The Inked Waste is a nasty, nasty place, full of hard creatures that will gobble you up and suck out all of your blood.
That's quite enough, Miss A. You may have heard tell that a new science teacher will be joining us this year, and he actually worked in the Research and Development Division of the Drakenspire Army.
The new teacher's gone missing. Do you think it was the beast?
Okay, yeah, cool.